The market of Old Oyo was full of life. People talked, bargained, and laughed. The smell of spices, smoked fish, and sweat filled the air. Women carried baskets on their heads and called out prices. Children ran between stalls, chasing goats and stealing bites of fried plantain. But Oba, the first wife of Sango, the god and king of thunder, saw none of it. Her eyes stayed on the palace gate. He promised, she whispered, holding the edge of her yellow robe tightly. Sango had promised to return from war by the new moon. But 2 months had come and gone, and still no drums and now slaves return. Rumors spread through the kingdom like snakes. Sango rides into battle with Oya by his side. Oya, the goddess of storms, whose laughter shakes the sky. Oba's axe ached. Oya was wild, strong, and full of fire. Everything Oba was not. Oba was known as the quiet one, while Sango's other wives were lively and charming. Oba was calm and gentle. She woke before sunrise to cook his meal, spicy stew, soft yam, and sweet palm oil. She cleaned his armor, polished his sword, and prayed for his safety. But when Sango ate feast, Oba sat in the shadows. Her soft voice was lost in the laughter of Oya and the songs of Oshun. Why do you always stay quiet, Hamid? Omolabake once asked. Oba smiled while stirring a pot of soup. A king needs warriors and singers, she said, but someone must keep his love safe. Still, as the days passed, doubt began to grow in her heart. Did Sango even see her? One evening, an old woman came to the palace. Her skin was dry and cracked, and her eyes were white with blindness. The guards tried to send her away, but Oba stopped them. Let her rest, Oba said kindly, giving her water. What brings you here, mother? The old woman held Oba's wrist tightly. Beware of the daughter of the river, she said. She comes to take what belongs to you. Before Oba could ask what she meant, the woman disappeared, leaving behind only smoke. The next morning, the sound of drums filled the air. Sango had returned. Oba ran to the courtyard, her heart full of joy, but then she saw her. Oshun, goddess of the river and beauty, stood beside Sango. Her skin glowed like golden honey, and the beads around her waist jingled softly. She held a gourd filled with golden drink. Taste this, my king, Oshun said sweetly. It will make your heart burn for me. Sango laughed and drank it. Truly, Oshun, you are a magic itself. Oba stepped forward, holding the rope she had sewn for him. Husband, not now, Oba, she said, turning to Oshun. Oba froze, her heart heavy. That night, Oba went to her small shrine in the forest. She knelt, crying as she prayed to the gods. What can I do to win his love again? The wind blew softly, and suddenly Oshun stood before her, smiling. Poor Oba, Oshun said. You think quiet service makes a man love you? Sango wants passion, not silence. Oba looked up angrily. And you think you are passion? Oshun laughed. I am fire, but you could be greater. Cut a small piece of your flesh. Cook it in his food. Then his soul will belong to you forever. Oba's eyes widened. You are lying. Oshun leaned close, her breath smelling like sweet honey. Would I lie to the first wife? Oba sat before her mirror that night, holding a knife. The blade shone in the moonlight. Cut a piece of your flesh, she whispered, and he will love you again. Her mind screamed no, but her heart remembered Sango's smile, the way he once called her, my steady flame. For love, she said quietly. Then she lifted the knife and cut off her hair. Pain burned like fire on Oba's head. She pressed herbs to where the hair had once been, holding back a scream. Her eyes were blurry with tears, but her heart beat fast with desperate hope. His soul will join with mine forever, she told herself. She began to cook, almost like she was dreaming. It was Songo's favorite stew, rich, dark, and full of spices. But this time, she had something else, a small piece of her own flesh. As she stirred, she prayed to every god she knew. This was no longer just a wife serving her husband. It was a woman giving part of her very soul to keep his love. When she entered the great hall, she saw only the bowl in her hands. Sango sat on his throne. On one side, Oshun rested against him, feeding him fruit. On the other hand, Oya stood, sharpening a sword, her eyes as fierce as a storm. Husband, Oba said softly, I have brought you my heart. Eat and be strong. Sango smiled kindly. You are always so caring, Oba. He lifted the spoon to his mouth. Oba held her breath. For one beautiful moment, she saw it all. Sango smiling at her, Sango loving her, Sango seeing her at last. He took one bite, and then the dream broke. His face changed, his eyes filled with shock and anger. He spat the food out. A small piece of flesh landed on the edge of the bowl. What evil is this? He shouted. His voice thundered through the hall. He pushed the bowl away and it fell, spilling dark stew across the floor. What have you given me, woman? Oba stepped back, a hand on her bandaged head. It's my love, my own flesh, so that you will belong to me. The court went silent. Then Oshun started laughing, sweet, cruel laughter that echoed in the hall. Oh, my king, she said between laughs. I told her it was a love charm, a joke. I never thought she would actually do it. Oba froze. The truth stabbed her through the heart. It had all been a trick. She was not performing a sacred act. She was a fool in Oshun's cruel game. Sango looked from Oshun's laughing face to Oba's wounded head. His shock turned to disgust. You cut yourself and fed it to me? You are mad. Your love is poison. Take this creature away from me. The word hit her like lightning. Creature? Mad? Poison? Oba did not see the sadness in Oya's eyes or the wicked joy in Oshun's. She saw only Sango's hatred. The fire of love inside her went out, leaving nothing but cold emptiness. With a cry of pain, she ran from the palace, past the guards, through the noisy market, and into the lonely world. Oba ran until her breath gave out. Blood from her wound soaked her robe. Finally, she fell by the side of a great river and wept. Her tears dropped into the water. She cursed Oshun for lying. She cursed Sango for not seeing her. And she cursed herself for loving too deeply. I gave him everything, she cried. My service, my loyalty, even my flesh. And it was not enough. What is left of me now? The head seemed to hear her sorrow. Her grief grew too heavy for her body to hold. Her tears became a flood. Her blood became a spring. Her body melted into the ground. The head split open and a mighty river burst forth, deep, wild, and strong. Its waters rushed over rocks, forming a loud, powerful waterfall. It was a river born from Oba's heartbreak, a river that could never be ignored. Back in Oyo, the truth was revealed. The old blind woman returned. It was the seer in disguise. She told Sango what had really happened and how Oshun had tricked Oba. Sango was crushed with guilt. His anger at Oshun was fierce, but his shame was greater. He left the palace and went searching for Oba. When he reached the new river, he knew the sound of rushing water was her voice crying forever. He realized too late what he had lost. Oba had not just been a quiet wife, she had been brave, loyal, and strong, a warrior in love. He had mistaken her calm for weakness and the silence for emptiness. Oba never returned. She became the Orisha of the Oba River, goddess of marriage, loyalty, and sacrifice, but also of pain love can bring. To this day, her river meets the Oshun River, but their water never mix, a sign of their eternal rivalry and Oba's lasting sorrow. And in dances done for her, priestesses always cover one ear to honor the wife who loved too deeply and the king who understood her love too late.